If you are over 60 and you have quietly accepted that weak, sluggish mornings are just part of aging, stop everything and watch this right now. Here is a statistic that will change how you think about tonight's bedtime routine. Research shows that over 70% of men over 60 experience a significant decline in morning firmness, not because of age, but because of what they are putting in their body in the final hour before sleep. That's not fate. That is a fixable problem. And the fix is not a pill. It is not a prescription. It is a single cup of a specific science-backed drink you can make in your own kitchen tonight. Today, I am going to show you exactly what goes into that cup, 5 specific ingredients, ranked from surprising to absolutely life-changing, and why men who drink this every night are reporting stronger, more consistent mornings even in their 70s and 80s. Stay with me until ingredient number 1, because that one will completely change what you believe is possible for your body at this age. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins, a board-certified internal medicine physician and men's health specialist with over 14 years of experience helping men over 50 reclaim their vitality, their energy, and yes, their confidence in the bedroom. I want you to hear this directly from me. I have sat across from hundreds of men, good men, hardworking men who came into my clinic defeated. They believed their best years were behind them. And in almost every single case, when we looked at their evening habits, we found the same patterns, the same deficiencies. The same silent saboteurs working against them every single night. That is why I created this specific bedtime drink protocol. And today, I am sharing every ingredient with you completely free. Let me explain what is actually happening inside your body as you sleep. During the nighttime hours, particularly in the deep REM sleep cycles, your body is supposed to trigger between 3 and 5 natural periods of increased blood flow to the pelvic region. This is not accidental. This is your body's way of maintaining tissue health, oxygenating cells, and preserving the delicate vascular structures that make morning firmness possible. But here is the problem. By the time a man reaches 60, testosterone levels have dropped by up to 40% compared to his peak. Nitric oxide production, the molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and allowing increased flow, decreases dramatically. And chronic low-grade inflammation, often caused by diet and stress, actively strangles circulation in exactly the areas where you need it most. I'm talking about waking up flat, feeling disconnected from your own body. I'm talking about that quiet, private grief of wondering if that part of your life is simply over. The strain it puts on a relationship when you feel like you can no longer show up the way you want to. The hit to your confidence that bleeds into every other area of your life, your work, your social life, your sense of who you are as a man. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men with poor nighttime circulation patterns were 3.4 times more likely to report complete loss of morning firmness by age 70. And another study out of Harvard found that dietary nitrate intake, which directly supports nitric oxide, was associated with a 58% improvement in vascular performance in men over 60. But here's what most doctors won't tell you. The hour before you go to bed is the most powerful window you have to influence what your body does while you sleep. What you drink in that final hour either helps or hinders every single one of those nighttime blood flow cycles. And most men, through no fault of their own, are drinking the exact wrong things. Tonight, we are changing that. Before I reveal the full drink recipe, I want to ask you a personal favor. Hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps me reach more men who need this information. And drop a comment below and tell me, where are you watching from and how long have you been dealing with this? I read every single comment, gentlemen. I mean that. And please subscribe if you haven't yet, because I release new men's health content every single week that you will not want to miss. Now let's get into the 5 ingredients in this bedtime drink, starting with number 5. Ingredient number 5. Tart cherry juice. Most men think cherry juice is something you drink for joint pain after a workout. They are missing an enormous piece of the picture. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Tart cherries, specifically the Montmorency variety, are one of the richest natural sources of melatonin on the planet. But more importantly for our purposes tonight, they are loaded with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidant compounds that directly reduce vascular inflammation. Here's why that matters. Inflammation is one of the primary causes of narrowed blood vessels. When your vessels are inflamed, blood flow is restricted, When blood flow is restricted, your body cannot complete those critical nighttime circulation cycles we just talked about. Tart cherry juice essentially clears the road so traffic, meaning blood, can flow freely. Additionally, tart cherry juice has been shown to lower cortisol levels in the evening. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, is a known testosterone antagonist. The lower your cortisol at night, the more space your body has to produce and utilize testosterone while you sleep. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that men who consumed tart cherry juice daily for 4 weeks showed a 34% reduction in inflammation markers and significant improvements in sleep quality, both of which directly support nighttime vascular activity. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened tart cherry juice, not sweetened cherry cocktail, gentlemen. That will do the opposite, consumed 45 to 60 minutes before bed. That's it. Start there tonight. One of my patients, Gerald, a 72-year-old retired school teacher, came to me completely discouraged. He hadn't experienced a real strong morning in over 3 years. He told me he had stopped even paying attention because the disappointment was too much. We started him on tart cherry juice alone. Within 3 weeks, he called my office, and his voice was lighter than I had ever heard it. He said, "Dr. Collins, something is happening again. That was just ingredient number 5. But the next ingredient? It works even deeper at the hormonal level. Stay with me. Ingredient number 4. Ashwagandha powder. You may have heard of ashwagandha. Most men have tried it in a pill and given up after a week because they didn't feel anything. Here's the problem. They weren't taking it correctly or consistently. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Ashwagandha is classified as an adaptogen, meaning it literally adapts to what your body's stress system needs. But here is what makes it extraordinary for men's health. Multiple peer-reviewed trials have confirmed that ashwagandha directly stimulates the production of luteinizing hormone in the pituitary gland. Luteinizing hormone is the signal your brain sends to your body that says, produce more testosterone. More testosterone means stronger desire, stronger response, and stronger mornings. At the same time, ashwagandha significantly reduces serum cortisol, often by 20 to 30% inconsistent users, further clearing the hormonal environment for testosterone to do its work overnight. A landmark 2019 study published in Medicine found that men who took 600 milligrams of ashwagandha root extract daily for 8 weeks experienced a 15% increase in testosterone levels and a 57% reduction in perceived stress scores. These were men aged 40 to 70, same genetics, completely different hormonal environment. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. Half a teaspoon of ashwagandha powder, which equals approximately 300 milligrams, stirred into your bedtime drink. This is the form that absorbs most efficiently. Take it every night for a minimum of 4 consecutive weeks before judging the results. The men who give up in week 2 never see the transformation that happens in week 6. Robert, a 66-year-old former contractor, came to me after his wife had gently told him she missed feeling close to him. He was devastated. He felt like his body had betrayed him and, worse, that it had affected his marriage. We added ashwagandha to his routine alongside the tart cherry juice, and by week 6 he sat in my office and said, "Dr. Collins, I feel like I'm 45 again. My wife is happy. I'm happy." That, gentlemen, is what this is really about. The next ingredient is one you probably walk past at the grocery store every week, and you had no idea what it was capable of. Ingredient number 3. Beetroot powder. Here is where most men's eyes go wide in my office. Beets. That's right. The vegetable you've been ignoring your entire life may be the single most powerful natural compound for blood flow available without a prescription. Let me explain why this works on a biological level. Because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Beets are extraordinarily high in dietary nitrates. When you consume nitrates, your body converts them through a 2-step process involving your saliva and your gut bacteria into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is the master molecule of vascular health. It signals the smooth muscle in your blood vessel walls to relax and expand. When those walls relax, blood flows with significantly less resistance. This is precisely the mechanism that expensive pharmaceutical compounds attempt to mimic synthetically. Beetroot does it naturally, systemically, and with additional benefits including lower blood pressure and improved oxygen delivery to every tissue in your body, including the tissue down there. Studies consistently show that beetroot juice can increase nitric oxide levels by up to 21% within 90 minutes of consumption. A 2021 study in the journal Nutrients found that older men average age 67 who supplemented with beetroot powder for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in peripheral blood flow and reported measurable improvements in intimate performance. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 1 level teaspoon of high-quality beetroot powder stirred into your bedtime drink every single night. You can find it at most health food stores or online. Make sure it is pure beetroot powder, no added sugars. The color will be deep red. The taste is mild and slightly earthy. It blends beautifully with the other ingredients in this drink. Thomas, a 74-year-old grandfather of 6, told me he had resigned himself to the idea that strong mornings were simply not possible anymore. He had tried 2 different prescriptions and didn't like how they made him feel. When we shifted to this natural protocol, beetroot powder, at the center of it, he reported his first strong, natural morning within 2 weeks. He looked at me across my desk and said, "I forgot what this felt like. That moment is why I do what I do." We are not done yet. Ingredient number 2 addresses something almost no one talks about: the nerve pathways that make all of this possible. Ingredient number 2, magnesium glycinate. Gentlemen, if there is one single nutritional deficiency I see in nearly every man over 60 who walks into my clinic struggling with sleep, energy, and morning performance, it is magnesium. And the specific form matters enormously. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. But for our purposes tonight, 3 are critical. First, magnesium is essential for the production of testosterone. Without adequate magnesium, your body literally cannot complete the hormonal pathway. Second, magnesium directly regulates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and restore branch, which is the system that governs the blood flow events that occur during deep sleep. Third, magnesium glycinate, specifically the glycinate chelate form, crosses the blood-brain barrier and promotes deeper, longer REM sleep cycles. And as we established earlier, REM sleep is when your body runs its nighttime vascular maintenance program. A 2021 study published in Biological Trace Element Research found that men with higher magnesium levels had significantly higher free testosterone, the active, usable form, and substantially better sleep architecture. And a University of Arizona study found that 68% of American men over 60 are clinically deficient in magnesium. 68%? Gentlemen, you are almost certainly in that group right now. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 200 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate, not magnesium oxide, which is poorly absorbed, taken with your bedtime drink every single night. Start at 200 milligrams and increase to 400 after 2 weeks. Most men notice improved sleep within the first 3 to 5 nights. The morning benefits typically follow within 2 to 4 weeks. David, a 70-year-old retired physician, and yes, even doctors miss this, came to me embarrassed. He had spent 40 years treating patients and had never prioritized his own deficiencies. His testosterone was low, his sleep was fragmented, and his mornings were non-existent. Within 1 month of correcting his magnesium deficiency, his free testosterone had risen by 23% on his blood work. But more importantly, and I will let him say this in his own words, he told me, "Sarah, I feel like someone turned the lights back on." Now, we have arrived at ingredient number 1, and I want you to pay close attention, because this is the ingredient that ties everything together, the one that most men have never considered for this purpose. And it may be the most powerful thing I share with you today. Ingredient number 1, L-Citrulline, the circulation amplifier. Most men have never heard of L-Citrulline. And that, gentlemen, is a tragedy. Because the research behind this amino acid for male vascular health is some of the most compelling data I have seen in 14 years of practice. Let me explain why this works on a biological level, because understanding the mechanism helps you stay committed. L-Citrulline is an amino acid found naturally in watermelon. When you consume it, your kidneys convert it into larginine, another amino acid, which then drives the production of nitric oxide. But here is the key advantage over simply taking larginine directly. Larginine is rapidly broken down in the gut before it reaches the bloodstream. L-Citrulline bypasses that breakdown, converts after absorption, and delivers a far more sustained, powerful nitric oxide release. We are talking about blood vessel dilation that lasts for hours, precisely covering the deep sleep window when your body is trying to run those critical circulation cycles. Combined with the beetroot powder we already discussed, you are creating a nitric oxide environment in your body that rivals and in some studies outperforms pharmaceutical interventions at a fraction of the cost and with zero side effects. Multiple studies confirm the power of this combination. A 2017 study published in Urology found that men with mild to moderate performance challenges who took L-Citrulline daily for 1 month showed a 50% improvement in firmness scores and reported significantly higher satisfaction. Notably, 66% of the men in that study said they would continue using it over any other option. A 2023 follow-up study in the Journal of Men's Health confirmed these findings in men over 65. The exact demographic fuzz see in my practice every week. Here is the exact protocol I give my patients. 3 grams of L-citrulline powder, approximately 1 heaped teaspoon mixed into your warm water base. As part of this complete bedtime drink, warm water is important. It opens the vasculature gently, aids absorption, and signals your body to begin the parasympathetic wind-down process. Take this every single night, not occasionally. The compounding effect is what produces the dramatic results. Most men in my practice see noticeable improvement in morning firmness within 14 to 21 days. By week 8, the difference is often described as extraordinary. I have 2 patients I want to tell you about because this ingredient changed both of their lives in ways they never expected. Franklin was 78 years old, a World War II veteran's son, strong, proud, stoic. He told me he hadn't had a genuine strong morning in 7 years. He had accepted it. His wife had accepted it, and there was a quiet sadness between them that neither of them spoke about. We built him this complete bedtime drink with all 5 ingredients, L-citrulline anchoring it all, and at his 60-day follow-up, he walked into my office standing taller than I had ever seen him. He said, "Dr. Collins," my wife cried. "I'm not embarrassed to tell you that I cried too. We thought that chapter was closed forever. It was not closed. It never had to be." My second patient, Marcus, 63 years old, an active firefighter preparing for retirement, came to me worried that the decline he was experiencing would get worse with age and stress. He was not yet severe, but he could feel the trajectory. We started him on this protocol proactively. Within 3 weeks, he told me, "I don't even have a problem to fix anymore. Every single morning." That is the power of getting ahead of this, gentlemen. You do not have to wait until things get worse. The complete bedtime drink, assembled together warm water base, tart cherry juice, ashwagandha powder, beetroot powder, magnesium glycinate, and L-citrulline works synergistically. These ingredients amplify each other. The anti-inflammatory effect of the cherry clears the vascular pathway. The ashwagandha builds the hormonal foundation. The beetroot and L-citrulline flood the system with nitric oxide precursors. And the magnesium ensures your nervous system and your sleep cycles are deep enough to let all of it work. 1 cup, every night, starting tonight. Here is your complete implementation system, simple, clear, and manageable. Tonight, make your first cup. Warm 8 ounces of water, not boiling, just warm. Add your tart cherry juice, 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder, half a teaspoon of ashwagandha, 1 teaspoon of L-citrulline, and 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate. Stir well. Drink it 45 to 60 minutes before you get into bed. That is all you are doing tonight. This week, track your mornings. Keep a simple note on your phone, even just a 1-word entry. Each morning, yes or no, strong or weak. You need a baseline to measure your progress against. Weeks 2 through 4. Stay consistent every single night. Do not skip. The compounding effect is real, and breaking the cycle resets your nitric oxide rhythm. Most of my patients report the first noticeable improvement between day 14 and day 21. Increase your magnesium to 400 milligrams in week 2 if your sleep has improved and you have no digestive sensitivity. Weeks 6 through 8, this is typically when men describe the most significant change. Sleep is deeper. Mornings are stronger. Energy is higher. Most men in my practice report 50 to 70% improvement in morning firmness quality by this point. Some report complete restoration of what they experienced in their 40s. This is a nightly investment of approximately 5 minutes and less than $2 per serving. That is what we are talking about here. Let me summarize what you are taking home from today's video. Your bedtime drink contains 5 powerful science-backed ingredients. Number 5. Tart cherry juice to reduce vascular inflammation and lower cortisol. Number 4. Ashwagandha powder to rebuild your testosterone foundation and quiet stress hormones. Number 3. Beetroot powder to flood your system with natural nitric oxide precursors. Number 2. Magnesium glycinate to correct the deficiency affecting 68% of men over 60 and deepen the sleep cycles where restoration happens. And number 1. L-Citrulline, the circulation amplifier that delivers sustained blood flow through your entire sleep window, supporting the rock-solid mornings you thought were behind you. Remember this, over 70% of men over 60 experience significant morning decline. But that statistic does not describe men who take control of their evening habits. It describes men who don't know what you now know. Gentlemen, your body is not broken. It is under-resourced. And tonight you can begin changing that. This is not complicated. This is 1 cup before bed. That is the distance between the man you are and the man you want to be again. You have more power than you realize. Your daily habits, your nightly habits determine your outcome. Age is not the final word. Your choices are. I'm Dr. Sarah Collins, and I want you to wake up tomorrow morning with something to smile about. Now, before you close this video, please hit the like button if this gave you something valuable today. It helps me reach more men who are quietly struggling and don't know this information exists. Subscribe to this channel. I release new men's health content every week, and I promise you, you will not regret it. And most importantly, drop a comment below and tell me which ingredient surprised you most. Was it the beetroot, the L-Citrulline? I want to know. And if you have a question about your specific situation, ask it in the comments. I read them, and I respond. Your best mornings may still be ahead of you. Good night, gentlemen, and good morning.